Hello everyone, this is Angelus Demonus. In this video, I had a unique opportunity to experience FF14 gameplay, specifically Palace of the Dead on Machinist against floor 180 Behemoth at high ping, and then later tried the same exact run with lower ping using the VPN service No Ping. I'll talk about my experience and you'll see some side-by-side comparisons of the two runs, so anyone watching can hopefully grasp the differences. But what will be important in this video is that even with high ping, and especially on a job like Machinist, which is fairly sensitive to ping differences, you can still win. It'll be harder for sure, but it's doable. I had done a free trial Machinist Palace of the Dead run on a Japanese server. I'll link my clear video attempt in the description below. I decided to try this challenge specifically on a Japanese server because I heard some discussion within the Deep Dungeon community of ping issues and all the problems it caused on various jobs. There was no real way for me to authentically duplicate the experience except for me playing on a Japanese server. Machinist was a good choice for high ping too to see how it feels. So the question simply was, can Machinist down Palace of the Dead 180 Behemoth with compromised ping? To people who may watch this and may have your ping around 100 or less, this video might not have as much impact on you, and that's okay. At the time of this video, I am on the East Coast, and I have roughly a 90 ping to the NA servers. But I've never seen that as an issue with a job like Machinist, or any job really on my end, if I play on my home data center. However, players out there who have a 150 ping or a 200 plus ping, such as the EU crew who play on NA or anything similar, this difficulty that we'll show in this video might be very familiar to you guys. I'll go over my experience that I had, and we'll also have some comparisons of what it looks like with higher ping and with lower ping. In the first section of this video, I'll show a side-by-side of my two attempts with and without a VPN. The rotation of Behemoth is synced up to hopefully represent a good visual. Can you tell which one's which? On the left was without any VPN, and on the right was using no ping. According to my ping tests, I had a 180 ping to the Japanese servers without a VPN. Now, according to no ping, I was supposed to have a 130-ish ping to Japan, but all I'll say is that it felt like I was playing on North America and not Japan. I am pretty sensitive to how buttons activate and fire off, and it just felt exactly like how I play on North America, so a definite and obvious improvement. So let's take a look at my attempt with a VPN, or basically how I would play if I'm back on NA. I usually set up my Lust at about 22%, and right before he uses the Trounce on the north side, I also make sure to have a sustaining potion at the beginning of Lust to make sure that my HP is coming up, because I'm going to be taking a couple autos while I'm doing Lust. Then, after we do the 5 Vuln, we're going to slowly whittle its HP down. At 14.9% is when Behemoth will commit to meteors. So what I would want to do is I want to push his HP close to that percentage. I have a macro on my bar, which is in the middle, it's like a red sword icon, that allows me to see the HP percentage as I'm doing hits. So I'm hitting that macro, and I'm hitting escape to make sure I'm not doing any extra autos that I'm not accounting for, and I'm slowly getting its HP down. And then once it's there, I'm setting myself up, I'm just waiting for the perfect time to do the burst, which is going to be for the second AoE. This is the first AoE and this is the second, so we're going to slow this video down. I'm waiting for the first one to finish out. It goes off. Boom, I'm going to wait for the animation and then I'll reassemble first, right there. And then the second one goes up, now it's committed to the second AoE, and now I'm going to pull my burst. So I reassemble, I drill. I get a couple of my off global cooldowns off right now, because it's going to get refreshed when I do my Heat Blast burst. I do the second combo here, now he starts Meteor, and this is when I'm going to commit to Wildfire. So Wildfire goes off, Heat Blast goes off, and we start doing that burst. Now ideally you want to go for 6 GCDs, but on this attempt I had my sustaining potion kind of come up a little earlier, and as you see, I'm also getting my attacks off as well as some of my off globals off, which is what I can typically do with a better ping. I had to weave in my sustaining potion here because it came up and I could not lose a tick of that, and you'll kind of see why later. So we're continuing our damage, we're weaving in the double cures, which I need to do. My potion didn't go off, so I'm spamming it again. Boom, there it goes. We'll just have enough HP, and this is why I had to get that sustaining potion top priority. You'll see my HP drop super low here. Boom, really low. But then we continue the burst here, and we're keeping our off globals off cooldown. We're using it as it's coming up, so nothing is getting wasted. And pretty much after this point, Behemoth needs to die, because otherwise I do not survive the second meteor. But we get the damage in with about a 2 GCD, 2 GCDs to spare on that fight. Second video here is without my VPN. So the setup here is basically similar to how I set it up on the previous. There's really not going to be too much change here. We get the sustaining potion prior to the lust, we wait for the trounce on the north side, and we try to get 5 vuln here. This got a little spicy because my HP gets real low here, but it's nothing to concern about. I actually refreshed strength here because my strength was actually concerning in timer, so I had to get it up there, but that was just the circumstance of the situation. HP's coming back. We're kiting a little bit to avoid some of the autos, and you'll see even though I got so low with my HP, my sustaining potion got me back up. We don't want to use a second wind or my max potion here to get the HP up, because I need that to survive the second meteor during the burst. So HP is presentable. We're checking the HP here using that macro, and we are just waiting for the opportune time, which is going to be after the second AoE. So the first one will come out right here, and then we're going to slow down the video. Alright, so we're setting up here. I actually had a little bit of a better start than my first attempt. We reassemble early, and we actually do the drill somewhat early, but we've already committed, he's already committed to the second AoE, so we're going in for the burst. Alright, so the sustaining potion actually came out brilliantly here right before the burst. We do the wildfire, and we set up our burst. Now here's the big difference between VPN and no VPN. I have to only do heat blast here, because I've learned from my previous climb without a VPN that I cannot even weave in any off globals, because I will miss a GCD in wildfire, and I'd rather get the 6. If I even weave in 1, I have to almost just commit to 4. That's how bad it is. So you'll see I'm wasting damage here because I can't get those off globals out, but it's the best thing I can do. So we get the first combo, we get the second combo. I'm still sitting on off globals here. I have to refresh my sustaining potion, which is coming up right now, which is great. And watch my max potion right below my sustaining. I am spamming that real hard just to get that off, and we are losing damage here because I'm running out of time for that next meter to come in, but I need that heal. So we lost a bit of damage because of the delay. We got drill in, we got a couple off globals, we still have 1. I still even have used my heat blast, which I'm using it right here. So we're still slow on damage. So now I'm going to commit once again to the heat blast because, again, if I start weaving in something in between, I'm going to lose 1. So I commit to 4 here, and since we're getting close to the meteor, I then go for my off global and I go for my GCD, and we just make it right at the very end as that cast was going off. And that's how tight it is without a VPN and if you're going in with high ping. Look, it's doable, but you lose damage. Clearly you lose damage versus a VPN, but it is doable. So here let's go back to the side-by-side video, except on slow motion. The setup for this fight will be basically the same for both. What we're doing is we have already whittled down the HP to where we wanted to, and we're just waiting for the timing. So coming up is the first AoE, which we want to chill on. It's a kind of our signal to get ready for the burst. So as the second one's coming in, or as it goes down, we want to set up. The left side, I actually had a little bit of a better start than the right side in terms of my setup, as well as the usage of my sustaining potion. So, okay, we're going to the burst. Now the biggest difference here is how I'm bursting with heat blast. The left side I'm just doing heat blast. The right side, even though I'm starting it a little bit later, I am going to get my off globals off. And even though the left side in reality had a better start and better opener, the damage will catch up on the right side because I was able to get just more damage off because of the off globals. Towards the end of the fight, what you'll see is basically the right side with the VPN will finish up like 3 seconds or so faster than the left side. But that's like 2, maybe 3 GCDs. But even though it's that tight, we're still able to pull it off on both attempts. And that's what's most important, again, especially when you're not using a VPN and you're sensitive with, you know, how buttons are pressing, you can still pull this off. So what is the takeaway from this video? In my eyes, a few things. If you have high ping, you can still win against this boss. If you're worried about high ping, or have been playing with it for a while, this is how it will look likely on your end, and how you'll experience it. And I hope it provides a bit of confidence when you do your own attempts. If you have any further questions about my experience, or maybe some questions about Machinist and Deep Dungeon in general, comment below. I've taken Machinist in now for 2 clears at the time of this video, one on NA, and then now on one on JP. So I'll definitely be able to help you if you're having any issues. Good luck out there.